Alright boys, I'm gonna make this jump.
I guess not.
So with Sonic Frontiers on the horizon, I decided that it'd be good to try out Sonic Forces again, and it's been a really long time since I played through the game, and I wanted to see it with a fresh new lens nowadays. It's still not good, but it isn't as god-awful as I remember it being. I remember hating this game for a really long time now, and the game is just, it's uncomfortable. It's almost not really in the middle. There's more bad stuff than good here. And the good stuff I can really say really isn't a lot. So yeah, let's just talk about Sonic Forces. I don't think I really gotta say too much about the story of the game. The story is just the story. This time Sonic has to stop Eggman alongside his evil new friend who is basically a discount Mephiles. Oh, and he also has the ability of Since Pontac and Graph are writing this, there's literally no stakes or nothing that's really like making us really care about the story. Clearly there's issues with the writing, we all know the elephant in the room, but does Sonic help me? I'm not here to talk about that. The writing is just annoying.
Oh great! See, Infinite? Now we're getting to know each other. So, what's your favorite color? Do you like long romantic walks on the beach? What's the source of your power?
Will you shut your stupid— Basically the story is bad. That's all I have to say. What I really wanted to just talk about overall is just the gameplay itself. The game is separated into 3 gameplay styles. Obviously you have Sonic stages, you have classic Sonic stages, and then you have the Avatar stages. This time around, I used Rei Ayanami from Evangelion as my avatar. 100% original OC, do not steal. Now I'm gonna give my own thoughts on each gameplay style, and the one that I have the least problems with is with Sonic's gameplay style. Sonic feels overall pretty fine to me, but however I do not like the certain sudden sense of speed that he has. You'll see what I mean. Go ahead and look closely for me real quick. Did you see it? Run that back. There, that sudden burst in speed. Let's compare this to another Sonic game. You see how Unleashed feels more natural than Forces here? Now I said I wasn't going to compare gameplay to other games, but Sonic should just feel natural to run as anyway, so to have this sudden burst of speed just doesn't feel right. I think the Sonic levels are pretty alright, but there's also a problem that goes for any type of gameplay style. As soon as it seems to get good, it just ends. This is especially true for Sonic stages because there's actually some that I kind of really like, but they just end as soon as I think they could get better or anything. And although I wouldn't call these levels peak Sonic, despite you getting at least some entertainment value from it, they are still super easy Sonic levels. Like, I think this stuff is easier than Colors. Now, this game does have its charm with its like gameplay, however, because you can have fun with this game and its levels. You just don't really expect a challenge, but it is still fun to like do homing attacks and stuff, you know, usual Sonic stuff, but it's easy to the point where it might just bore you. And this goes for all 3 gameplay styles here. Next up is the Avatar, and the Avatar as a general concept is honestly really cool, and props to Sega for even going that route. It's really cool to see people make their own Sonic OCs in this game. I just think it's really cool. Now as for how the Avatar plays, the Avatar just plays okay. Their playstyle definitely matches the level design, but that doesn't mean it's like fun or anything. Sometimes the Avatar can feel weird with their running physics, with their jump physics. They feel off because sometimes you can like slow down while you're jumping and then you have to catch yourself on your feet again. It doesn't feel right. It sucks because the ideas that the Avatar gameplay had are really good, but the execution just wasn't it. But oh, at least you're not classic Sonic. This blue rodent, this tiny blue rodent had no reason to be here. He should have just stayed in Mania. I don't know why he's here. Now, we're gonna take Sonic Generations out of the picture for a sec, and even if we do, Classic Sonic just plays okay. Just like some of the other stages, Classic Sonic stages are also just like a walk in the park, but he just doesn't really feel great to play. You came for 3D Sonic, not Classic Sonic. If you're gonna put him in here, you might as well not have 2D sections in this game, but this game is kind of just 2D section galore, and I thought Colors was like that. And I feel like just out of the 3 gameplay styles, his stages are just kind of the snooziest. They're just super easy. Alright, it's time to get on this platform. Okay. Okay. Okay, alright. Alright. Alright, hurry up! Why is it taking so long? Basically, classic Sonic sucks. The boss fights aren't even that good either. Like, the boss fights are basically just mash A to win, basically. Usually, you have to, like, get close to an enemy and then homing attack. That's basically the boss fight. The boss fights don't really even get the slightest bit of difficult until, like, the last part of, like, the game. You know it's a problem when the boss before the final boss is harder than the final boss. Yeah, these bosses are just not great. I'm sorry. I wanted to say at least some comments about them. I like how creative they can be sometimes, especially when Infinite like using the Phantom Movie to like manipulate reality at times. But he doesn't really do that in your boss fight unless you get hit. And I barely got hit. In some of the boss fights, you will take on the boss as both Sonic and the Avatar at the same time. However, I feel like that there is a lot of missed potential for this as well. Now, although I do like some of the Sonic and Avatar stages, I feel like most of the work is being done to the Avatar, since Sonic basically boosts. Now, I wish that there was some kind of freedom swap mechanic so you could switch between the two if you want to do this as this character and just add a bit more freedom, but they do not have that. They only swap when you do a character specific action. And yes, although they still do swap, this is a lot of missed potential they had here. However, they do have the best thing in the game, the double boost, baby.
Dap me up.
But now let me list off the good stuff. It's not a lot, so get ready. Let me just go ahead and give a shout out to the visuals. Even though this game isn't like the most graphically impressive Sonic game, it definitely just looks nice. The presentation is really cool and it has like some of the coolest stages I've seen in Sonic games. Null Space especially has like the cleanest visuals. I wish that there was like a full stage for Null Space. It would have been so cool. Metropolis also looks really cool. I want to see this in another Sonic game. Hopefully we get to see it in Sonic Frontiers as a cyberspace level or something like that. I think Metropolis is honestly really awesome as a stage. And even some of the returning stages got a really good makeover, especially Chemical Plant. I want to see this variation of Chemical Plant again. This just looks really clean. If anything, the visual department did not screw up with this game. And since this is Sonic, the audio department sure didn't screw up either, but in comparison to other Sonic soundtracks, Sonic Forces soundtrack has some really good bangers, but I don't really catch myself listening to music from Forces often. Some of it is just like dubstep, and that's probably not even the right term, but you understand what I mean. There's like in the Avatar stage, it's just like dubstep with like female vocals over it, and they're just okay. Where it really shines is basically anything where it doesn't sound like wacky dubstep. You've actually been hearing some of my tracks in the background of this video, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go do some of my favorite tracks that are in this game. Well, that's really all I have to say about Sonic Forces. It's definitely an interesting game, and I'm kinda glad that I replayed it. Sure, this game has some things that don't really make me too happy, but it also has some things that kind of make me like it a little bit. But only by a little bit. This is still a 6 out of 10. Now I know what you're thinking, where's episode Shadow? I'm gonna be covering episode Shadow in a short follow-up video that's gonna be after this one. Because even though episode Shadow is short, I still want to give it its respects because there's things that I like about episode Shadow and nobody talks about it. But overall, Sonic Forces, you're an okay Sonic game with some pretty glaring issues, but I still kinda like you a little bit now. Just a little. Not by a lot though. This is probably a bad question to ask, but what do you guys think of Sonic Forces? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in another video.